Hello YouTube, welcome to my channel. My name is Precious Malachi. If you are new on this channel, where have you been? On this channel we talk about all things entrepreneurship, self-development, and quite frankly anything that's gonna help us become a better version of ourselves. If you're a returning subscriber, welcome back. Don't forget to like and comment. If there's just welcome back. So today Oof, I just want to talk about the the reality of entrepreneurship, um, and one of the biggest realities of entrepreneurship is it's just not stable, you know. Entrepreneurship is just not a stable industry, if I can put it like that, or career choice, or whatever you want to call it. So if you want to become an entrepreneur, you need to be able to handle the inconsistencies of entrepreneurship, because um you could be doing so well in one day, you're meeting all your targets, sales are flowing in, all the projects are just flowing as planned, and then the next day it's just the direct opposite, unexpected expenses happen, um unexpected trips need to happen, things are not going according to plan, there's no sales coming in. So those are the things that you need to expect when you want to hop into becoming an entrepreneur. It's just so inconsistent, So with that said, I made a video about the character of an entrepreneur, but I think this character of being able to just be cool. I don't know if I can put it like that. As much as entrepreneurship on its own is just inconsistent, you have to be consistent as an entrepreneur. Your mental space, you need to be consistent. You don't have to go with the flow. I don't know if that makes sense. Going with the flow would look like when days are good, you're happy. You are motivated, you're just within, you're just in the vibe, and then when days are not good, you also said you're not motivated. That is not going to work in entrepreneurship. You need to find a balance between a good day and a bad day and you need to stay on that balance for your mental sanity. So it's quite tricky. It's quite tricky that some days are good and some days are bad, but it's something that you need to learn as an entrepreneur. You need to get used to the inconsistencies of a business, because if you are constantly, if you base your emotions or your decision making in what's currently happening right now in the business, it's just gonna be doom and gloom, because some bad days can make you reach extremely bad decisions because of a bad day. I saw a quote once that says, you are not having a you're not having a bad life, you're just having a bad day. So sometimes when you are having an extremely bad day, you make extremely poor decisions, and sometimes when you are having a good day, you make extremely poor decisions. So it's important for you to, no matter how good of a day that you're having, or no matter how bad of a day you are having, you need to stay cool, you need to stay objective. I think that's one of the things that a lot of people don't talk about, that entrepreneurship is just so inconsistent, and with that inconsistencies, you need to be a consistent person. Your mental state needs to be at a consistent pace. Your thinking needs to be consistent. Your emotions need to be consistent. You just need to find a middle ground between being too happy and being sad, and just stay on that level. It's just, as long as you remain positive, as long as you remain positive throughout what's happening. So I just wanted to say, guys, inconsistencies is something that's gonna happen, and I think it's part of the risk that we take when we become entrepreneurs. Business is never stable. It can be great today, greater tomorrow, best the other day. It's never a consistent thing, especially when you're building from scratch. Yes, we would like to come to a point where our businesses are making consistent income. I mean, that's what we all strive for. Imagine how great it would be if you knew that, okay, on a bad month or whatever, I'm making this amount of sales, but that's just not how it goes, because amalanga akafani, days are not the same, months are not the same. I once asked an entrepreneur um, how they measure success for their business, and he said that when you've got a constant income, when you've got a constant income and that constant income constantly increasing, you know that you've got a successful business. And that's what we all strive for. We all strive to have a constant income. We all strive to have a constantly growing business. But the reality is, when you are starting, it's not going to be as consistent as it should be. Obviously, as you grow, you need to know who your customers are. You need to know the minimum that your customers are going to bring in a month. But then at the start, that's just not how it's going to be. So you need to be able to be consistent, no matter how inconsistent the days are, or no matter how inconsistent entrepreneurship is as a whole. I'm not gonna delve into the expenses of inconsistent expenses or whatever. I just came here to say, guys, entrepreneurship is just inconsistent. It's not a stable flow. That's just, you think that it's just gonna be like, okay, you're starting from zero, and then when you start a business, you think that, okay, obviously I'm gonna start from zero. So you think it's gonna look like, okay, this is zero, and then as you grow, as the days go or as the months grow, you're just going up and up and up and up and up. Your income is just increasing like that. But no, that's just not how it's gonna be. And sometimes you can be making lots of income in a day, but then there's just some other things that are just not consistent. For example, you could be making lots of money, but also the expenses are just piling up. That's why it's so important. It's so important to keep your expenses as low as you can, especially your monthly expenses. The wisest thing to do for a business is try to decrease your monthly expenses, especially those constant monthly expenses, the expenses that you know that you have to pay on a monthly basis. For example, your rent, your VoIP, your Wi-Fi, those kind of expenses. You need to always negotiate for better prices, so that when the month is not so good, at least you've got the basic expenses covered, because they are so little, they're so minimum. The little income that you're making is going to be able to cover those expenses. With that said, guys, thank you so much for clicking on this video. Just know that when you go into entrepreneurship is just not consistent. It's not a consistent grow. Like, the graph does not look like this. It looks something like, you know and with all that happening, your emotions are involved. Your sometimes your thinking capacity is shaken. So it's so important that you stay sober, no matter how good of a month you're having, or no matter of how bad of a month you are having. Consistency is so important. It's so important to stay sober, no matter how great of a day you're having. It's so important to stay positive, no matter how bad of a day you're having. With that said, guys, thank you so much for clicking on this video. And maybe you can share your experience as an entrepreneur. How has your growth been looking from day one? Has it been just, or it's... Thank you, guys. Bye.